So today we will be learning about foundation data. So before we start off, so I want to ask a small question. So Heman, you may try. What is foundation data?
So,
What do you think when we say foundation data? What do you think? So, for example, if you look into this incident table, okay, so this incident table has some key inputs, okay, key information. Without that, like the incident has no meaning. Okay, foundation data means a fundamental data that is essential to start using your ServiceNow system. Okay, when I said it could be a ServiceNow system, or it could be a Remedy system, or it could be any platform. Okay, so the fundamental data is like you need to have the basic information available so that you can start using your ServiceNow. Okay, now think like common man. You don't have to think like a techie, but think like a common man. To start using your ServiceNow, what is the bare minimum information? Okay, fundamental information, you need to have users, right? Without having users, can you have ServiceNow logged in? You
no,
need to have basic
yes,
information, users. Okay, and you are using this particular ServiceNow tool, or you are implementing the ServiceNow tool for some business. Okay, when I said I'm assuming that I'm implementing this particular ServiceNow solution for a manufacturing company. When I said a manufacturing company, what are the fundamental data elements in that manufacturing company? They will have users, right? Fundamental thing. And if I further split, okay, or a manufacturing company or a IT infra company, and that company will have various work groups, they will be collaborating to deliver an output, right? They will have work groups. Okay, let's say if it is a manufacturing company, you probably have a quality team, you will have a supply chain team, you will have some data processing team, or various engineering team, mechanical team. So you will have multiple work groups. They will be collaborating to deliver an output. Now, I said users are basic data elements within the manufacturing company, and you have work groups. Now, when you said work groups, these work groups will be playing certain roles and responsibilities, right? These work groups will be playing certain roles and responsibilities. So what we need to have their roles need to be classified. Similarly, these work groups and then this manufacturing company probably being operated in multiple countries. Okay, countries. Okay, or else we can call it as the locations. Okay, this company is established in various countries, various geographical locations. Okay, so similarly, like you will have departments, HR department, IT department, okay, finance department. So what you are these all these inputs, all these data elements in consolidated, okay, consolidated, and they treated as a foundation data. Okay, out of these, bare minimum and very key elements are your users, your work groups, and the roles that they are delivering. Okay, so that is how your system is defined. Your overall manufacturing unit is defined. Okay, so now if you look into our IT tool, that is ServiceNow, at the moment that we are looking into it, open up any process. When we are talking about any process, the whole process is, you know, can be executed in a smooth fashion only if you have these data elements are appropriately organized. So let us say I'm talking about incident. When I said incident, the fundamental question is who is raising this incident? Who will be captured in the column? You can see it here. When I look into the column, the person who is visible here is a user, right? An individual in your system. Okay. Similarly, when I created an incident, this incident should be taken care by some work group. Okay, what is that work group? That work group is structured in the assignment group. Okay, so you need to have this data element to have this incident addressed. When I said work group, it is fine, but actually who is working in that work group is structured in your assign to. Okay, so and again assign to will display the user's information, but this user information you will be logically structuring. Okay, so you are logically structuring this user information. Okay, how you are structuring this user input is all up to our definition. You need to have a kind of workshop executed, then according to that you will define. So the bare minimum information to drive your process is, foundation data. Okay, so the foundation data includes various other elements. You will have companies. Within the company you will have locations. Okay, again, like you will have users, you will have work groups, you will have roles. All these data elements are treated as foundation data. Okay, foundation data, right? So now to do our exercise, okay, to make as part of my incident management process setup, okay, I want to have a new company created, and the new company will have certain work groups. Okay, and that new company will be located in different company, locations, and then that locations will have certain number of users, and they will be performing certain roles. This is my high level representation. So let me just start preparing data. Okay, I'm trying to set up a new company called, okay, uh, any company we can call up like TCS company. Okay, we want to create a new company called TCS. Okay, and TCS has like couple of locations. Okay, location like Hyderabad location. Okay, we will have Mumbai location and Chennai, Bangalore. Okay, these are a couple of locations. And in Hyderabad, I have some users. Okay, in Hyderabad, I have, okay, test one user, test two user. Okay, in Mumbai, okay, I have test three user and test four user. Okay, in Chennai, test six user and test seven user. Okay, now again, what I want to say is, being TCS is a big company. Okay, I am having like various work groups are created. Okay, I have IT support. Okay, HR support. Okay, and finance support. Okay, assuming that, okay, IT support contains, okay, IT support contains test user one and this other user. Okay, similarly, I have HR support. HR support contains these two individuals. Okay, I have next one is finance of team. And they contain these two individuals. So this is my foundation data architecture. In reality, you will have hundreds of locations, you will have hundreds of work groups, and you will have tens of work individual group alignments. So according to that, you will be populating. For my testing purpose, I just took limited details. Okay, now so let me do how I will be doing in my ServiceNow system. Now, if you have one or two users, you will be doing it manually. But if you have too much of data, then what is the option that we will use? We will use data import that we learned yesterday. Okay, now, right. So first thing, I want to create a company. Okay, how do I do company? Go to system applications. Okay, no, go to this properties. Go to the my company. and this is your company. If you, for example, let us say in this case, I have this logo. If I want to set up a logo for my company, I can do that. Okay. And also to create your individual company data, you have a table called C4 underscore company dot list. Okay. So this is the table that actually stores all your company related information. Okay. Let me type here so that you can practice it. 4 underscore company dot list. Okay. So if you do that, it will take you to this particular one. I want to create a new company called TCS. Okay. Or whatever the name. Where is the head office located? You can say Mumbai head of Mumbai Street, some Talal Street, Mumbai, and you can give company something. Is it a manufacturer or whatever? Like you can give, if you have a symbol, you can do it. Okay. Test company. I'm just doing. Now I submitted my company. Okay. A new company has been created. Okay. TCS is my new company. Okay. That is my step one. Okay. I created a company. To create a company, what I have used, I've been to this place and created a new company. Okay. And in the company, I have various locations. Okay. Now this is my company and this company will have various locations, various products. Okay. All of them need to be created. Like, let us say if the company is producing various products that you can do. And this company is having various other vendors and they are producing some catalogs that you can add here. Now I want to add locations. Okay. To add locations. Okay. I can add these things. So open the locations. Okay. Or else you go to the user administration and locations. Anyway, it will take you to the same one, or you can type cmn underscore location dot capital list. This will take you to the same place. So to reach out a destination in ServiceNow, you have various ways. Through practice, you will come to know all these things. Okay. I opened up same location table. Here also I opened up same location table. You can see. Okay. Now I want to create couple of locations. Now location one, Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad location. Hyderabad. Okay. Okay, something like this. And you can provide these additional details. Country. If it is available, it will come up. Okay. Now provided state. You provide longitude and latitude, and and this location can have parent location. Probably what you can do is you can create a Hyderabad, and within the Hyderabad you have multiple locations like Gachibowli, and you have Pocharam, you have various other locations wherever TCS office is existing. So you create a parent company as a parent location is Hyderabad, and then you can have a chain location. So that is up to us how we want to design this location data. Now I have added this. Okay. Save it. Okay. And this is where I will use insert and stay for my pick one. Okay. Now insert and stay. What is that new location? Mumbai location. The address can be changed. Mumbai. So I have added it and insert and stay. Chennai, Section State, and Bangalore. Make it Karnataka. Okay. So I added 4 locations. Okay. Now scroll down, check out those 4 locations. You have Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, and these locations are created. So the second data element as part of your foundation data is also completed. Now the next one is work groups. No, sorry, next one is users. So where do you create these users? Go to system security. Go to system security and go to users and groups and go to users. Okay, create new users. Okay, the new users are test user 1. Always prefer to have no spaces for user ID. Okay. Test 1 user. Test 1 user and save it. Okay. Now I have added this. So again, I'm saying now at this stage, you can define from which location this user is belongs to. Okay, and then which company this user is belongs to. Right now, you do not have these details are attached to this particular user profile. Okay, but those fields are available under your form. Okay, if your organization is demanding, now user is created to which company this user belongs to and from which location this user is coming from. So to do that, I'm trying to add those additional fields to my form view. To do again, like what I have done, I clicked on configure form layout. Here, company, okay, you can use, you can see company. Okay, this is a company. I'm selecting. Now, location. I'm selecting. Okay, add this manager also. In future, you will learn about it. Now, go to this. Selecting these fields. Taking time to select. Stuck. It's not taking. Okay. Let me just reload it. Taking longer time than usual. Just okay. I'll reopen it. System security. I will go get. Okay. It came up. I'm trying to add company and the location and manager and take them up for your quick visibility. put above the department, and I'm saving it. I have not created it. I used the forms from the fields from the existing table itself. I saved it. Now you can see company. I have created a new company that is called TCS. Okay, it should be coming here. Just check for the TCS company. Yeah, this is available. Select it, and then location. We created a couple of locations, right? So the locations data should come up here. Okay, what is that location that we created? Let's say Hyderabad. There is some problem. The data is not coming.
We have created Divyasri Hyderabad.
Okay. Should come. No, there is some other issue. First, let's say why this data is not coming. We can come to know. Now, this is a reference field, right? Okay. In the out of the box setup, there is something we need to check. Now go to configure dictionary. I want to check this dictionary parameters. Being this is a reference field, it will always come from backend table. So we created our data in a CMN location table. We created a data in CMN location table, and we can see our data. Okay. So data is there. Now come down here and go to your table. Yes, this is coming from location table. Okay, perfectly. This is coming from location table, and there is no condition also. Okay, data, there is no filter, there is no condition. So this should be coming up. Okay, now there is other one. This data to be displayed in a tree picker view. Okay, that's saying like, the data should be coming in a step-by-step format, like select India and then, the other format. Remove this format because right now I'm not trying to show the data structured in India, Hyderabad, like, the parent-child relationship kind of. So we are not talking about it. Now save it. Okay. Go back. Go back to the user record and check for the data. No, the data is not displayed in CMN underscore location target. Okay. User dot location target values is formed. Okay, and then the let me create one new field and see why this data is not coming. We'll come to know form layout. It should be fixed why this data is not coming in this reference field, but I want to create my own field. Okay, just to visualize whether my data is coming or not. Let me create one location table, location field, location reference. Data should come from CMN underscore location. Okay, this is the data where it is residing. Add and put it right below the same location field. We'll come to know why this data is not coming. Now I'm just creating our own field right below the out of the box field. We should use out of the box field. Okay, we should not create like this. Okay, following fields are duplicated. Okay, the following fields are duplicated because fine. Okay, it did not created. Data is not coming. There is a data. I can see perfectly. Data is coming on the same table. Okay. but for some reason the data is not displayed. Now let's say TCS. I want to add my company here. Okay, so the problem here is the data has been restricted based on company. Okay, so selecting now these 4 records will come up. Okay. I created a company, right? So when I created a location, there is no company field directly available on form view. Okay, so we have not added company because that company field is not available. So what you have to do is you have to add that company so that when you are creating a location, you will add that company value. Okay, so we missed this step. Now go back to the test user. See that data has come up. Now I associated your location with company. Okay, so now the data has come. So the test user is completed and now go to the test 2. Okay, so to do this, we will use insert and stay. So primary device, okay, we already have created the test user 2 and now we have test. Okay, go back to users if they are properly structured or not. Okay, sort out with updated. You can see the test 1 and test 2 are already created. Okay, now create test 3. Similarly, we'll create next 6 users quickly. Insert and stay. And this time test 3 should be in a different company in location. It should be in Mumbai location. So let's change Mumbai. Save it. The other person 4 also should be in Mumbai location. Catch if the 4 users are properly created or not. No. D. Set and stay. Set and stay. So I have created 4 users. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need how many more users? Okay, for testing, like we would need only 2 more users. Okay. Five. Set and stay. And this guy should be in Chennai. Chennai. Okay. Stay. Okay. Now move all this. Okay, verify these users. Okay, so I created, I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I gave only one single name. Okay, just change the names to make it more meaningful because you will be using your testing, right? So it's a test 2, update it, and is a test 3, update it, test 4, so that you will not be confused. Updated test 5. I have updated and test 6. Okay. I created 6 test users. Okay. Now the second part, I have created users as part of my foundation data. So the next one is I want to create these groups. Okay. I need to create these work groups. How to create a work groups? Again, go to system security and you have groups. Okay. Under this, you have groups. Okay. Open groups. Okay. Create new work groups. Okay. So work group 1 is IT support. I'm saying IT support. If you have a manager, you will be giving a manager. Okay. And this group is to handle all IT issues. Okay. I created IT. And if your company is following any convention, you can say that TCS hyphen IT support. You can use this convention. Okay. Submitted. Work group 1 is created and create the new one. Okay. HR support. TCS HR support. This is to handle all HR queries. Submitted. And the third work group is finance support. Okay. TCS finance support. This work group is for handle all finance queries. Okay. So you have created 3 work groups. Again, now see, if you have a manager, dedicated manager, you can provide them. Okay. And if there are any key fields that need to be added, like, you can always include them and then you can manage it. Okay. So my next step, creating groups information is also completed. So what is the next step here? Having group membership. How to handle this group membership? Okay, so come down to system security. Okay, and we will have group membership. Here, the group membership says that, like, which person should be part of, okay, sorry, which person should be part of which group. Okay, so to do that, like, there are various ways to do that. There are 2 ways. Okay, number 1, you go to that individual user. Okay, number 1, you go to that individual user, open that individual user like this, and go to groups, add which group he belongs to. This is the method 1. Okay, now this test 1 user should be belonging to IT support according to our business requirement. Now what I will do, I will add that particular person to that particular queue. Okay, I clicked on this one and it will give me a slash bucket, and this person belongs to TCS IT support. Okay, this person belongs to TCS I supported. I have added him into that particular queue. Now test 1 user, he belongs to this particular group. I added a group to a user. And the other way to do that, you can go to that particular group. Okay, you can go to that particular group and open that group. Okay, TCS IT support, and go to members. You have a group members and add, edit that particular person. Now I want to add this test 2 user. Okay, test 2 user into this one. So these are 2 ways. 1, you go to user profile, add group member. 2, you go to that group and then open up the group membership, include that particular person. So you can do either from user or to the group. So this is how you will be managing the group membership. Now, according to my requirement, now IT support group membership is successful. Now go to the HR support. Okay, so let's open the HR support. This is quick way of doing it. So I will go to HR support, edit, Okay, edit, test 2 and 3. Okay, test 2 and 3 belongs to this group. I added this group membership. Okay, now finance support 6 and 7.
24. Yeah.
Okay, go to finance support, edit, test, five and 6. So according to my business requirement, I created a company, I created locations, I created users, and I created work groups. I managed their membership. Okay, so now with this, mostly it is completed. Okay, mostly it is completed. But if you go to incident system, okay, if you go to incident system, okay, and open any incident record, and I want to assign a ticket to an individual that I just created. I want to assign it to a TCS queue. Okay, now let's say I want to select that TCS queue, TCS IT support, which are available here. You can see that. Okay, now also I have created a test user, so I can use the test user here. Now under TCS test one, I have included group members, but the data will not come here. There is a reason why. The reason is the whole incident management process is attached with a role. Okay, if you open this particular module, and this module is accessible only for a role called ITIL. Okay, if you go to visibility section, you will come to know which role it is attached to it. So this module is attached to ITIL role. Okay, so for example, you go to this application menu and go to this one, it is attached with ITIL. Okay, so to work with out of the box applications, you need role. If you have built any custom application library, okay, I've created a library application. My library application is created and it will be attached with a role. Okay, when you create a new table, by default, it will be automatically creating some role. If you want to do that, you can do that. You can exclude if you don't want. I showed you that. So if you want to access something, you need dedicated role. Okay. Now, for example, if you look at it, this is my custom table that I created. Then, it started with you. Okay. No, you don't want to for example, for some reason, for your application, according to your custom application, you want to create a role. You can create your role under system security. Okay. You can go to your system security and you can create your role. Okay, you can create your custom role and use that custom role in your application development. Okay, this is the way you will create your custom role and use this particular role in your scripting or in your application management or wherever according to your development, a custom role. Okay, or as I can say my library management role, library admin role. So this role required for anyone to access library application. Okay. When you're trying to sell an application, you cannot go with that u _ blah blah blah. So it is always good to go with some practice. So now I'm having this library admin role created. So to use my library application, I need this role. Similarly, to apply or to work with your incident management system, you need ITIL role. Okay. Now, how do you attach this role to users? Okay, you can open a individual profile and you can go to role section. You can edit just like you edited a group membership. You can do that. But ServiceNow always says, okay, if you are attaching a role to an individual, then it is always going to be a messy. For example, let us say some A person who joined into finance queue. Okay, maybe a person who joined into a database work group. Tomorrow he moved to a storage queue, or he moved into a monitoring team, or he moved into application development team. So when they moved in, so you cannot go to their individual profile and manage it. But what is the best practices? Attach a role to a group. Now HR support, okay, TCS support, and then finance support, okay, whatever, sorry, IT support or finance support. By virtue of you are having a member in this one, you will be automatically added with this role. So ServiceNow always says The best practice is attach role to a group. Okay. If you are part of that group, you will perform some roles. For example, if you are a part of a team lead queue, you will be performing some roles and responsibilities. If you are part of a management group, you will perform some roles and responsibilities. If you are part of some activity group, you will perform those roles and responsibilities. So your roles and responsibilities always depends on which work group you belongs to. So that is why ServiceNow always recommends attach a role to a group rather than attaching a role to user. But again, you can do that explicitly. Okay, explicitly you can open up user profile and add a role as part of your testing, or your administrators or all of them will be automatically attached directly to your individual profile, but it's not a good practice. Okay, so now I want to say all these three work groups are created are ITL groups. Okay, so what I will do is I will attach that ITL role here. I will attach ITL role to this work group. Now let's go to ITL. Okay, I will attach this ITL work groups. So as soon as I added this ITL, all the users who belongs to that particular group will be automatically updated. Now ITL, sorry, HR support queue contain these two members, and these two members will be automatically attached with this ITL role. And again, you remember, a group can contain subgroups. Similarly, a role can contain sub roles. Okay, now if you look into this ITL role, okay, if you click on this ITL role, this ITL role contained additional sub roles. So if you attach ITL role, all these sub roles will be automatically included, inherited to your user profile. We will verify how they are structured. Okay, now go to these other work groups and then verify, add roles to other work groups also. Now I'm giving ITL role to finance support. I'm giving ITL role to finance support. Submit it. So similarly, all these roles are attached to these individual profiles. Okay. Now go to the last one, IT support. Attach your role. Attach ITL role. Okay. And so I have provided ITL. Now, if you have looked into it, okay, I have added. Now open this profile, for example, test one and user. Okay. Now, if you look into it, go to this their roles. I have not added these roles manually. I have added a role to this particular group. Automatically, these roles have come up. And if you look into this inherited true or false, these are all inherited from this particular group. And if you are not member of this group, then these roles will go off. For example, let us say tomorrow, this test one user has been moved to some other organization, or he was no more working. So what happens? You will immediately go to this particular queue. You will immediately go to this particular queue, and as we say, test one user is no longer working. Okay. So what I will do, I will remove their group membership. I will remove their group membership. I'll just simply manage it here. So now go to your individual profile. Okay. Go to your individual profile, and this is your individual profile, test one user, reload it, and his roles will move off, and you will not have any roles. You are removed from this group so that your roles also removed, because they are all inherited. If you have added a role explicitly, for example, I have added a role manually, then you have to manage your roles manually. For example, let us say I have added some roles, some CMDB role. Now, this particular person is not member of this particular group. Okay, so what happens? All these groups, remove this filter out. There is one. This is not. I have added this particular role. All the roles which are inherited automatically applied, and these are not coming from a group. You removed from the group, but you still have this role. Okay, so again, if I have added you that particular membership, if I added a membership, okay, what I want to IT, sorry, TCS, IT support. Here I am. Go to group membership, add TCS support. Automatically, those new roles will be attached. TCS, IT support, add it. Now ITL role also will be automatically applied to this one. Go to roles. Okay. Added. Sorry. You can search for ITL role, automatically apply here. ITL role, because that is inherited from a group. You can see that is automatically added. If I remove, automatically that will be taken off. So this is how your group membership need to be managed and roles alignment need to be managed. Okay. Now go and test in your incident system. Okay. Let me remove all these tabs. Okay. Go to your incident system. Okay. I can add caller. I can add group. Now search for these users. So whoever is part of that particular group, now they are added. So I'm able to create, and then now these users are able to work with this one. Okay, now I have added this particular incident to this test one user. Okay, test it. Now as you know, we can test it, right? So how this particular person is able to work in, whether this particular person is able to work or not. You can go to your system and go to impersonation, open that user profile. Okay, go to the test one user. Now let's go to incident system or assigned to me. Now you can see this ticket is assigned to him and he's able to work on this incident. Okay, he's able to work on this incident. Okay, resolve it. See, this is how you will be creating role foundation data. Now I showed you how what are all the various parts of this foundation data. There are many more, but these are very key. And again, like if there is too much of data, you will not do manually. What is the other option that we do? We will create a short templates. Okay, again, as I explained you yesterday, to create a user data, what you have to do, you have to create a import set, and then you have to load the data, right? So how to add the users? Okay, simply, for example, let's say tomorrow I have a requirement to add some 1,000 users into the system. So I will not do it manually, right? So what I will do, I will go to system security. I need to understand the data architecture. If I know that, I can easily do this. Go to system security users, and this is my data, and create an import set, right? We created a template. So create a template for adding users. Okay, download the template. Okay, I'm preparing the template for downloading the data. Okay, open this user profile thing. Okay, this will be my template, a new template that came up. Just remove this initial page, which is not required for us. Delete it. Okay, and this is the page. Okay, and here, like what columns that you need, like you include, you can have only those columns, and if you want to use all these columns, you can do that. For now, I do not want all this. Okay, remove. Okay, I want to add only the key data. Location, I will supply. Okay, and manager, no. Okay, street and all these details, I will not do that. User ID is of course needed. We need first name and last name, right? Okay, anyway, I removed it. Is it? Yeah, I removed this first name and last name also. No, I don't need this. I don't need this. I need this. This. Okay, remove, 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 remove. I need last name. Location I need. Just to simplify the template, I'm removing all unnecessary fields. Okay. Or else you can use the same one also. If you are really sharing with client, you should actually maintain all this data just for your, because you already know how to import the data. So I'm just making it simplified. Okay. There should be one field called company also, right? Where is that? Okay. Now I have these details. Okay. Test user. Okay. Last name. Or sorry, I can say employee. Test 8 user 88. Okay. And location, I can pick up any location that I wanted. Okay. Just pick up any location, just copy paste. Okay. Chennai location, example. Channel location and user ID is test user 8. Now I have so much of data. Okay, some 1,000 users. Okay. Now the
Mandatory, right, Srikanth?
which one?
Company name.
Company name is no, it's not a mandatory. It's not a mandate. But to select this data, it is dependent on that. Okay, so I can create company also. It's a dependent. It's not a mandate. Okay. Now I prepared user data. Okay. Now it is available in my local system. It's a data source is available. Go to ServiceNow. How do we do that? What is the first step? System
Import.
What is the next step?
Load data.
Load data. Okay. What is the next step? For the first time I'm doing, out of the box, we have a table to use import user, but I will create my custom one. Okay.
Yeah.
TCS underscore user. I'll create it as a TCS user load data. Now I have this data. So ideally in real time, what we do, we will remove all the dummy data from your system. Okay. From the user table, you will ideally remove all the dummy data and then you will create fresh data into ServiceNow system. Okay. Now what is the data source? My data source is local file, right?
Yeah.
So currently my file is located under this one. Okay. Submit it. So what is the next step? Data will be loaded. What is the next step? Transformation mapping.
Transformation.
Okay. Transformation mapping. Name the transformation mapping.
Target table.
And save. Okay. Yeah. Target table is sys user. Okay. Sys user. Remember these table names. Okay. Remember this table name. Tomorrow I'll ask you. So sys underscore user. Okay. Scroll down. Users. This is the table. Sys underscore user. Save it. So transformation mapping is completed. Sorry, transformation name is completed. Now, second thing is matching. Okay, so you can use auto mapping. Okay, yesterday we talked about mapping assistant, right? Now use auto mapping. Auto mapping will check the similar names from both the ends, and if they are available, it will auto map. Okay, I have a username. It actually attached to user ID. I have first name. It attached to first name, last name. Okay, like that. And there is one field which is missing is company. Correct? So yes. I can use field mapping manual creation. Also, I can use mapping assistant. Either way, same. All of them will take down to the same place. Okay, now what is that? Current mapping is a company. See, I have a spell mistake there. In my Excel sheet, it seems to be there is a spelling mistake.
Yes.
So that is why it did not come up. Otherwise, it also would have come up if there is a proper name. Now, on the other side, it is a company. Okay, submit it. Okay, submit it. And in this one, okay, now I have added all these details. So if there is anything that need to be coalesced, that need to be coalesced in the user profile, which is unique username, right?
Yes.
So I will make this particular field as a unique. Okay, and the other thing here you need to notice is if we are, if we are mapping either reference fields or a choice fields, if the target table does not contain the value that is coming through, what system does is it will be creating choice action. We call it as a choice action. Important feature you need to remember. There is a choice action. So if the target table does not contain the value of the reference field or the value of your choice field, then system will automatically create it. Okay. For example, let us say I am loading the data related to the incident. Incident status choice is a standard one, right? You should not manually create from the import. At that point in time, you need to make this choice action is always false. Okay. This is a very, very powerful thing. Okay. For example, if I'm loading the data that, where in the incident data, there is a field called configuration item. If I'm loading the data related to the configuration item, and if that record does not exist in this backend table, then system will do create it. Okay, this is one of the key bug. Usually the fresh resources will do that. Okay, to eliminate this risk, what we have to do in the transformation mapping, we always need to make sure choice action is false. Okay, create it only if that is really necessary. Okay, so use this create option only if this is really necessary. For example, now I will show you in the next iteration what is the issue. For example, okay, go to this. Okay, let's load this data. Now for a moment, David, I will tell you what is the bug and how to correct it. Now I have done this and transform the data. Okay. And transform the data. Now I have loaded the transformation. Okay. So go to sys user table. Okay. What happened? Yeah, transform completed. Okay. System security. Go to users. And I created some users, right? See, all the new users are created. Okay. Can you see this? Now, is that clear? All our new users are created.
Yes.
Okay, all your new users are created. Now, if you open this particular 301 record, and TCS company does exist in our system, right? And Chennai location does exist. Perfect. Okay. Now I will strip my data. Okay. This is my data. Now I will say TCS1, TCS2. Example for your awareness only. We have to be careful. Now I'm going to remove my data just to eliminate chunk. I created 3 users, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and these user profiles are existed, and I coalesced on these particular fields, right? I coalesced on user ID. Now I'll reload the data. System security. Oh, sorry. System import. System import. Load the data. Load the data. Use the existing table. TCS user. Choose the file. File is located on my this one and loaded it. And transformation mapping is already there. So I will use the transformation, existing transformation, and running the transformation. Now transformation is completed. Go to my system security and open users. Okay. Now there are few users which are created. What is that? 8. Open the 8. Do I have a TCS1 company?
No.
Did I have that company? What happened? Now your data brought in some value. It created dummy companies. You have to be very careful. Now you are creating companies altogether in your system with your data load. And I have seen there are some scripts for particularly if the data is coming from the discovery source. And if you're not having this kind of option is set up, there are lakhs and millions of records are going to be created in your CMDB data. So that is why you have to be very, very careful when you are creating any transformation mapping. Okay, now to eliminate this, now we have created few companies, right? Under core company, remove that companies. Core underscore company dot list. Okay, so these are dummy companies are created. You can see these are dummy companies are created. I'm removing these dummy companies. Okay, and select delete. Okay, I'm deleting these dummy companies. Okay, since I deleted from the backend, the company is deleted. Now go to the test user. Okay. Now go to this user. The data will not be there. Reload it. So the data has gone. Now test. Okay. So set some company for test user 8. Okay. I'm having TCS value. Okay. Now this is what I have. Okay. Or else like I will remove this company value also. Okay. Now what I will do, I will reload the same data. We will check what is happening with test user 8. Okay. I will reload this user. Okay. Before I do that, what I will do is I will change the transformation mapping. Okay. Transformation. Go to the transformation mappings. Okay. This is TCS user. Okay. And what I will say is company. If there is no company exist in the target table, please do not create it. Ignore. Okay. There is no company target. Okay, I will. And this also. Okay, this is a reference field. So for this reference and choice fields, we have to be careful. Okay, I saved it. Now save this and reload this data. Okay. Reload. System import. Load the data on the existing table. File. I'm loading the same data again. Now I'm using the existing transformation mapping because I'm doing it for the next time. So transform. So data transform. Now open up your records. This is the record. Did it created a new company? Last time it created a new company, right? So now there is no new company created because we have adjusted the transformation mapping. So this is the advantage of choice action. So when you are doing, any transformation jobs, so you have to be careful with your transformation mappings. Okay. So this is how you will manage your foundation data end to end. You will create company, you will create locations, you will create users, you will create groups and manage the group membership and then also the roles associated to that. Okay. So any questions on this so far? Chaitanya?
No, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yeah, you have to practice to be used to all these fields and tables. Haven't any questions?
Yes,
As of now, no questions. So while practicing, we will get a questions.
Yeah, definitely. Rani?
Sir,
Yeah.
yes, sir. I did create simultaneously while you're showing, but I'm unable to create your user account, sir, to share my instance with you.
Okay, please can you?
Is it okay if I share my?
Yeah, credentials.
Yeah, I'll share the credentials with you one-on-one, sir. Can you just check my instance?
Okay. Let me share your details. Are you doing it now or you will do it later, Rani? I missing.
Yes, sir. I'm sending it to you in WhatsApp. One quick second.
Okay, please. Let me have instances ready. What is the dev instance number?
So the dev instance number is DEV61530.
61530, right? Okay. This is your instance ID. No, these are your developer profile or what?
Yes, sir.
Or maybe, okay, then let me just do one thing. Just stop sharing. Logging in, just hold on.
Sir, I have created a user account, sir, and I have given the credentials, but I'm not sure why the credentials are working before to log in.
Okay,
Could
we'll
you please
check
check it out? Okay, sir. Thank you.
log down to the developer profile. Opening up the instance, just a second. Share my screen.